students, we are back with another solution series of LRDI slot 2 year 2024. उम्मीद करती हूँ इसके पहले की जो solution series है वो आपने चेक कर ली होगी और आपको उसका explanation समझ में आ गया होगा. If you have not checked those videos, please go and check them now. Let's see what the first question says. Okay, so we are given a diagram of walkways and lakes. 3 of them are lakes in the shaded portion. Okay. Different points on the walkway are indicated by the letters A through P, with distances being OP. OP is given 150. Okay. ON and NM are equal 300. ML is 400. Okay. EL is 200 and DE is 400. This is 400 and this is 200. Now let's see what the additional information is given. The only entry and exit point is at C. This is the only entry and exit point. There are many residencies within the gated area. All of them are located on the path of AH and ML. Okay, so this path and this path with residencies being A, H, M and L. Now there is also a post office and a bank. Post office indicated with P and B over here, located at bank located at B. Now let's see what the first question says. One resident whose house is located at L needs to visit the post office as well as the bank. What is the minimum distance he has to walk starting from his residence and returning to his residence after visiting both the post office and the bank? Okay, so वो L से start कर रहा है. He goes to the post office and to the bank and then return back to L. Okay, so for going to the post office we can find the path, this one. Okay, now for going from the post office to the bank we can find this path, and for going from B to L we have to go through this path. As we can't move here through diagonals, no walk away. Now let's see, this was 150, this was 300 and this was also 300, this was 400, this also 400 and this is 200. Okay, this is 300. Now if this is 400 and this is 300, this will be 500. Okay, so for going from L to P, from L to P, we are going through a distance of 300 plus 500, 800, 800 plus 150, 950. Now from P to B, we are moving a distance of 400 plus, here we have 150, here we have 200. Okay, so this will be 250. Through Pythagoras theorems we get this 250. Now this is 400. So 400 plus 400, 800, 800 plus 250, we get 1050. From post office to bank. Okay, now let's see from bank back to L. So this is 300, this is 300, 600, 600 plus 400, 1000, 1000 plus 200, 1200. From B to L, 1200. Let's calculate the total distance. 0. It turns out to be 3200. So option 4 is our answer. Let's see the next question. One person enters the gated area and decides to walk as much as possible before leaving the area without walking along any path more than once. Okay, he walks through any path only once and always walking next to one of the lakes. Okay, note that he may cross a point multiple times. How much distance will he walk within the gated area? We are given information that he has to walk along the lake. So the path can be from here, this path. Okay, so this was 400, this will be 400, this will be 300, since this was 300. Okay, again 300 here, this was 200. Oh, this was 200, so 200 here, this was 400, 400, and here this was 300, so 300 here, 300 here, 300 here. Okay, so 300 plus 400, 700, 700 plus 300, 1000 plus 200, 1200 plus 300, 1500 plus 400, 1900 plus 300, 2200 plus 4, 2600 plus 600, 3200 and plus 600, 3800. Option 2. I hope this is clear to you. Now, let's move to the next question. Okay. One resident takes a walk within the gated area starting from A and returning to A. यहाँ से शुरू करता है और वापस से यहीं पे आना है through any point other than A more than once. What is the maximum distance she can walk in this way? Maximum distance, so we have to cover each and every point. Now, she starts from A, moving, we are finding the path, so covering all the points. This can be the final path where she returns to A. Okay, now this was 150, this was 300, this was also 300, and this was 400. Okay, this was 200, 400. So this becomes 1000. Also here, the distance traveled will be 1000. Now 150 plus 300, 450. Okay, and 450 here, so 450 plus 450, 900, 900 plus 2000, 1000 of this and 1000 of this. Okay, now 300 traveled this and 300 over here, and 400 here, 400 here, 400 here, and 400 here. So 400, 4 times 1600, and 300 plus 300, 600. The answer comes out to be 5100. Now let's move on to the next question. Visitors coming for morning walks are allowed to enter as long as they do not pass by any of the residencies and do not cross any point more than once. What is the maximum distance that such a visitor can walk within the gated area? Okay. Now they do not have to pass through any of the residencies, and as we saw from the information that residencies are on the path AH and ML, so the person cannot walk through these points. Now he has an entry and exit of from C, so the path can be, let's see the path this way. This will be the path. Now this was 300, this was 400, this 200, 400, 300, 300, 400, 300, and 200 and 400. Okay, so now let's calculate. 300 plus 400, 700 plus 300,000 plus 200, 1200 plus 400, 1600 plus 300, 1900 plus 400, 2300 plus 200, 2500 plus 700. So 2500 plus 700, that will give me 3200. So the answer is 3200. Now let's move on to the, okay. So here comes to the end of our set. I hope you liked my explanation. Please like, share and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.